Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and you want to know about your luck and fortune that's coming up this month? Well, listen up, because I'm going to be talking about Jupiter as it stations in the sign of Cancer, and there's certain degrees that you're going to want to know about. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I'm going to be talking about Jupiter as it stations to turn retrograde. But when a planet stations, it comes to a point where it's going direct or retrograde, and it changes directions, but at that point it stands still. And in other words, in that process of changing directions, it stays for an unusually longer period at a particular degree in the zodiac. And Jupiter will station November 11th, but October 18th through December 5th, it will stand still at the same degree of 0 degrees of Cancer. And this is an unusual long time for it just to stop and stay at a particular degree. So if anyone has degree points in their charts that I'm about to talk about, you're in luck, serious luck, because it's not just Jupiter aspecting a point, it is standing still. This makes it 100 times more powerful. So before I continue on, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org, and there you will get all of my newsletters free every week. Sign up for that, and while you're there, check out my Patreon. That is a spiritual community. Really, check it out. You're going to be amazed at all the opportunities and things you receive with that. As well as my galactic planner. My gosh, our planner is constantly going through new revelations and new things. If you want to know where Jupiter is, where your planets are that I'm going to be talking about, the planner will tell you. So go to galacticplanner.com. And last but not least, if you want to study with me, become an astrologer, go to my university. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. All right, so now let's get going. What are these major points? So as I said, Jupiter will turn retrograde on November 11th, but beginning October 18th through December 5th, Jupiter stands at 0 degrees of Cancer. So if you have any planets at 0 degrees of Cancer, you are incredibly lucky. Because another thing that I'm noticing the whole month of November, Saturn is pretty much in a trine aspect. This empowers this point all the more to receive both the power of Jupiter and Saturn. And I have found that this will bring out a point of what I call manifestation. Good things happening. You're in luck. Of course, it's going to depend on what house it's in as to what this luck entails. But it's still very lucky. Regardless, it's not going to be a difficult or bad thing. It will bring luck, it will bring prosperity and opportunities. So 0 degrees Cancer is one of those points to look out for. The other one is going to be 0 degrees of Capricorn. This is a very fortunate point because Jupiter will be fully aspecting by opposition. In Vedic sidereal astrology, which that's the astrology that I do, so true placements, by the way, of where the planets really are in the heavens, that this particular point is an opposition, but we say oppositions are where the planets give their full glance. So it's like a conjunction. So 0 Capricorn, and the next 2 points are just as important. 0 degrees of Scorpio. If you have any planets there, you get the trine of both Jupiter and Saturn. Very, very lucky. Now, if you have a planet at 0 degrees of Pisces. During this time, you'll experience some luck and fortune. After a little bit of hardship, because Saturn is sitting there on your planet at 0 degrees of Pisces. But once Jupiter comes into this mix, you feel a sense of relief, and good things will be granted to you. Great things, as a matter of fact. Things that you've been struggling for and fighting for, looking for. Finally, with this Jupiter station at 0 Cancer, it will be sending a full aspect to any planet at 0 degrees of Pisces. So once again, let me go over this. If you have any planets, 0 Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or Capricorn, you are in luck. This is going to bring great things. Now let me talk about this Jupiter being here in Cancer. I know I've done videos on this, but let me refresh your memory. Cancer is Jupiter's sign of exaltation, so it's stronger and brings out the positive and the good with what Jupiter is all about, which is spirituality, which is truth, which is opportunities. And with it being in Cancer, it's going to bring about some positive things in the economy, particularly in the housing markets. Real estate will open up more so. And another thing, Cancer deals with family, bringing people together with a new vision to love their family. This is going to make the world a much better place. Now, Jupiter will retrograde back into the sign of Gemini. This will happen December 5th, and it will remain in the sign of Gemini all the way till June 1st of 2026. Now, while Jupiter is in Gemini, it opens the door to new invention, travel, and just really broadening our minds and learning, because Gemini is a sign of open-mindedness and learning. It also deals with travel. So new ways of travel, even airports and convenience with travel, will be brought into awareness. And even, yes, definitely, when you go through security, it's not as rigid anymore. These kind of minor things you don't think about. This is because Jupiter was in Gemini and will be still for about 6 months, starting December 5th through June 1st. December 5th of this year, 2025, June 1st of 2026. So this is really important for you to know all of this information. And another thing I might add to this. While Jupiter sits at 0 degrees of Cancer, it is in the nakshatra called Purnavasu, which means return of the light. And this is one of my favorite nakshatras. It means after difficulty, after hardship, things return to a much better place. Return of the light. Because the nakshatra that precedes Purnavasu is Ardra, which is the nakshatra of sadness. Symbol is a teardrop, and it represents the howling winds. Rudra, the god of the winds, and the storm god. Rudra is the storm god. Rules Ardra, so after Ardra comes the return of the light. And yes, but here's the really good news. Jupiter will never go back into Ardra. It almost does, but it does not. It stays in Purnavasu for an entire year, all the way till, I believe it's like September, around that time. The next fall season in the northern hemisphere, and definitely the spring season in the southern hemisphere, but it will stay in Purnavasu for a year, a full year. And this means things will return to their normalcy, things will return to a good place. Yes, it's going to take a little time, but we're there. And Jupiter being in Cancer inspires people to come together. And I know November is going to be a crazy month for coming together, but things will come out in November that will lead us to where we need to be going. And that is going to be by next June, July, and August of 2026. But use this time. I do feel like Jupiter stationing is going to make the economy, stock market, things blow up in a good way. And this can benefit you. Take advantage of it. And people will be a little bit more optimistic coming up here. And with good reason. The world is changing. And with change, things are always difficult because change is different. But it is changing. Get ready, because I do think that by the time Jupiter does go into Cancer and remains there by June 1st, there will be a great prosperity because of all that's transpiring and happening now. But look at this as a sneak preview, October 18th to December 5th, as to what's to come by next June, July, and August of 2026. And take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. If you have any planet 0 degrees of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or Capricorn. With that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you want to learn more about me, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.